what I find is a big news in the world of advertising in India, and that is today Advertising Standards Council of India has issued a press release in which they have said that they and Department of Consumer Affairs, and to be more precise, Central Consumer Protection Authority of India, have decided to partner and co-regulate misleading advertisements. Now, this is something big, or is it something that has happened in the past and now it is coming in a new avatar? So that is something interesting, and we are going to monitor the situation. And in this live stream, I just wanted to alert everyone on this new thing that is happening. You may remember that Department of Consumer Affairs and Advertising Standards Council of India had an MOU, and this MOU happened in the year 2015. How do I know? Well, I was associated with ASCI, I was the Secretary General then, and that's how I was in the thick of things when this MOU happened with Department of Consumer Affairs. And not 1, 2, 3, but this MOU existed for solid 5 years, in which ASCI worked very closely with Department of Consumer Affairs. Not only that, the website which was launched by Department of Consumer Affairs, which is called GAMA, which is the full form of GAMA is Grievances Against Misleading Advertisements, and ASCI was managing all the back-end processing of complaints being received on GAMA. Now that was something big, and when CCPA was to be formed, everybody was hoping that same kind of arrangement would continue between ASCI and Department of Consumer Affairs. Well, there was quite a lot of resistance from some of the stakeholders, and more particularly some industry members who were not ASCI members. So this is a very interesting dynamics, and that's why I'm very curious to know what's going to happen between this arrangement between CCPA and ASCI. According to the press release that has been issued by ASCI, they have only stated that Department of Consumer Affairs wants to strengthen the self-regulatory mechanism in the country, and what they have agreed to do is lend their support where the misleading advertisements and the complaint against those which are being addressed by ASCI, if there is a non-compliance, then ASCI has the option of escalating such non-compliance to Department of Consumer Affairs, and that is CCPA. And CCPA has assured that they will look into these complaints and take necessary action as appropriate. Now that is a somewhat vague statement, because it doesn't necessarily give clarity on what will happen next, because there are two sides to this. One is either the complaints against misleading advertisements would be processed very quickly, very swiftly, giving good resolution to consumers, or for that matter even for intra-industry complaints, or would it slow down the process, because ASCI is a self-regulatory body and ASCI code and guidelines are primarily for the ASCI members to follow. What if a company is a non-member of ASCI and they do not participate in this complaint handling process? What happens then? Are they obliged to follow the ASCI diktat? According to the recent all legal cases that we have seen so far, ASCI has taken a stand that they are only a recommendatory body and they can only make a recommendation and they can't enforce any action on advertisers. Now, given this stance, if a complaint is escalated to CCPA for that matter, in my personal opinion, CCPA will have to restart looking into the investigation of complaint against a misleading advertisement. Now, that is another topic, because recently we learned that on the World Consumer Rights Day, CCPA announced that they are going to launch a dedicated website, a CCPA website, on which consumers can register their complaints or their grievances against misleading advertisement for that matter. Now, if CCPA is coming up with a website of their own, how these two organizations are going to work together or collaboratively for that matter, because if CCPA were to accept the ASCI process and the ASCI mechanism completely, that will lend tremendous power to ASCI and that will give teeth to ASCI's all decision making processes. However, if it is going to be a duplication of efforts, or worst case is if this is going to result in more litigations, because if an advertiser is unhappy with a decision taken by ASCI and if that advertiser challenges ASCI in court, once the matter becomes sub judice, ASCI stops entirely and nothing progresses further on that particular complaint. Now, will advertisers take this loophole and use it, rather misuse it, to stall all complaint handling process for that particular issue or for that particular advertiser for that matter? Having said which, ASCI on their website also has an entire page dedicated where they have named and shamed advertisers, influencers and celebrities where there is a non-compliance. Now, what happens to all those non-compliances? Now, this press release has come today announcing that the collaboration has happened and ASCI will escalate non-compliances to CCPA. However, ASCI has been doing this in the past. If you look at the ASCI website and if you look at the non-compliances being reported on the website, ASCI has been escalating all these non-compliance issues to the respective regulators, be it Ministry of Information and Broadcasting or FSSAI or for that matter Department of Consumer Affairs also. So, I am very curious to find out what exactly is going to happen now, what are the pros and cons for advertisers or pros and cons for consumers, because so far I am live streaming now, it's 5 o'clock in the evening, I did not see any corresponding press release coming in from Department of Consumer Affairs or CCPA for that matter, and the current secretary is retiring at the end of this month. So, whether the new official who will take charge effective 1st of April, would they also agree to the same arrangement or not? So, this self-regulation mechanism, if it gets a legal backstop or for that matter a regulatory support from Central Consumer Protection Authority, then yes, definitely ASCI becomes in a very strong position when it comes to enforcement of their decisions. The decisions taken by their independent Consumer Complaint Council when they look into complaints against misleading advertisements in India, and this is across media, be it television advertisement, print advertisements, digital advertisement, you name it and you have it. So, this is a big news that has come today in the world of advertising, particularly in India and specifically for misleading advertisements. And when we talk about greenwashing, we talk about dark patterns, we talk about influencers not following any disclosures or not disclosing their qualifications in their promotional advertisements, or celebrities for that matter not doing their due diligence. And obviously, the big subject is of surrogate advertisement, and these surrogate advertisements could be of tobacco related products or it could be alcohol. Even more pressing issue is that of online gaming and many offshore companies which are promoting gambling and betting in India, and these apps are being promoted. Many influencers and celebrities are being lured with huge endorsement money to promote these illegal apps in India. So, this was in a nutshell a quick update on what's happening in the world of advertising in India. I'll keep you posted. If you are seeing this video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.